Morning, everybody. Glad to see you again. And we have a wonderful guest this morning, somebody that you know because we've had on our show several times, and that's Richard. And Richard, so glad to have you back. Richard Attell, right? I always say your name wrong. Say your name right.
I was raised with the pronunciation Iyall, like walk down the aisle.
Iyall down the aisle.
It's a Native American name, although I understand that, the name came from my great-grandfather, and when he was alive, it was pronounced Iyall. But the pronunciation was changed to make it easier for people who don't speak our language.
Okay, so it's Iyall now.
Yeah, Iyall is fine.
Okay, I'll remember that the easier way.
Yeah.
I was trying to do it the hard way. It's so glad to have you, Richard, because all the things you do are all exciting. Hello, voice. Hello. So I want to hear the latest thing that's happening with you, because you always have such interesting things happening.
Well, on March 13th, I had a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. And I was very fortunate that there's a farmer that is here in the Fresno area, and he had a field of sage, but he was going to have it plowed under, disc under, because I guess he was going to have a plan to raise some walnuts or something, but he found out that the Native American people really revere the sage.
Oh.
We use it in ceremony.
Wow.
And so he was very, very gracious in allowing anybody to come out there and dig up sage plants before they got disked under.
Oh my gosh, how interesting that is.
So I got to go there on a nice long bike ride with the bus helping out, and somebody that I know, he has a bike shop just down the street here, Taravello. He helped me get a couple of shovels I could use, and my friend Laura came out and we dug up a sage plant and got it saved.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what are you going to do to save your sage?
Well, it's been put in a pot already.
Oh,
It's got potting soil, and I check it every day, and it's doing really well.
That's wonderful. And when it gets big, you're going to plant somewhere outside?
Maybe later on, I'll probably move somewhere. I'm just renting a room, in somebody's house.
Oh, okay. It's not very much space for you to plant anything.
Yeah, if I planted it there, no telling what would happen to it.
Well, it's good to see you again. So tell me the latest exciting things about what's happening with Richard.
Well, it's April now. It's a new month. There's the city buses are now free, so in the Fresno, so anybody can get on a bus and they won't charge a dime.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I never heard about that. Does this happen every year at a certain time?
No, this is the first time they ever tried it.
Oh, it's the first. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, the idea is to try to save the climate. Get people to ride the bus more often rather than taking cars.
Very good idea.
Yeah.
I know that when I was younger, I had to wear buses all the time, and they got you where you're going. So
Yeah, I've used them quite a bit in my life.
yes, I bet. So what's the latest thing that's happening? Are you doing some writing or anything? Or what's happening?
I've done a couple of new poems.
Oh, good.
Short ones, yeah.
Oh, you're going to read one of your new, or maybe your two of your free
Yes,
ones?
I have two short ones here.
Oh, fantastic. Richard is a wonderful poet, and we always love him to come on and give us some of his beautiful poetry, and his reading is always fantastic. You're on.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. This one is titled, Dark Ones Beware, for I am here. Dark ones, beware, for I am here. You bring your grief, but it will clear. I am the love. You are the fear. Release the dark. Allow the pure. I am the light. I am the cure. I am within. I am aware.
Oh my goodness, you were certainly inspired to write that.
That's half of it. Yeah. Go where you will, I'll find you there. My light can travel anywhere. You may attack me if you dare. You will find out that I do care. My love is strong. It is sincere. We are all one, and I am here.
Is there more to that beautiful poetry? I don't want to butt in again.
No, that was the end of that one.
Oh my gosh, that is beautifully. That is so inspired. It touched me right there, right here. Very beautiful writing.
Thank you.
And reading. I love the way you read them. You read them so beautifully.
Well, thank you.
So these are your two. That's your first newest one, or?
Yes, and here's the second one. This is actually today. It's my first time to recite them in public.
Oh, well, good. Go ahead.
This one is called "Is There a Leader Anywhere?" Is there a leader anywhere who knows just what to do? Is there a leader anywhere who has it all inside? Is there a leader anywhere who's more than red or blue? Is there a leader anywhere to help restore our pride? Is there a leader anywhere who will not try to hide? Is there a leader anywhere? Indeed, it's me and you.
Wow, that really surprised me. I wasn't quite sure. That was beautiful. My goodness. So we're the leaders, right?
Yes, we are.
Well, we better just start doing a better job.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for reading that for us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And did you bring another one too?
Sure. I can get into another short one that I wrote previously.
Okay.
This one, well, I'll do this one. I am now free.
Okay.
It's an ode to my friend, Dr. Fred Bringelman.
Oh.
In fact, yesterday was his birthday. He would have been 93.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Fred Bringelman, he lived to the age of 91.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I am now free of pain in life. I am now free of fear of death. I am now free of ego's pull. I am now free to know my soul. My heart remembers how to love, to let things go and just forgive. I am still conscious, even now. Though death has come, I live somehow. My life was filled with doing things. I love the peace that nature brings. The energy of leaves bring wealth. They do so much for soil health. I am the bushes and the trees. I am the owls. I am the bees. So nurture everything in life and watch your words to lessen strife. Be gentle with the ones you see, for I am them, and they are me. I am of God. I am divine. I am the universe, my friend. Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh my heaven. I just can't get over how you just grab me right in the heart when you read those beautiful poems. That You know, it's so important because one of the hardest things for people is to know that we're one. It just seems, oh no, we're millions. No, but we're not millions. We're one, and it's so hard to understand.
It is. That's why we were put here on this free will planet without knowing everything. We come, with a blank slate. We come here to be able to do whatever our heart leads us to do, or maybe dark forces at times. But
Wow.
we learn. Everything we do in life helps us to learn.
Yes, it does. And what's the most wonderful thing is that there are other people that are close to you that we can learn from, because we can learn what they have learned because they allow us to. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I can't say anything more about it than that. And I'm so glad that you're here again, because I always leave after talking to you feeling so much better about myself, which doesn't make much sense, but it's true. I do.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I feel that way about you. I'm glad that you are here.
Oh, so am I. So anyway, is there another poem that you've done recently?
That's all the new ones I have.
Oh, doesn't matter if it's new or not. They're always beautiful, and I like to share them with everybody because, like I say, you read them beautifully too. So we'll see what comes.
Okay, here's another short one.
Okay.
It's called A Great Horned Owl Up in a Tree. Now, I lived at Fred Bringblom, I mentioned. I lived at his house for over 7 years.
Oh.
And he had a house near Fresno State.
Mm-hmm.
He was a professor of linguistics there for over 50 years.
Oh.
And he had some property, and he had a cedar tree. It died during the drought a few years ago.
Oh.
But there were a couple of great horned owls that used to come in the neighborhood. and I love to hear the owls, and sometimes I go out and talk to them.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not? What the heck?
Sure.
I like talking to all the animals.
Yeah. So this poem is called A Great Horned Owl Up in a Tree. I am a living one who sees. I am a great horned owl up in a tree. I am a cedar tree who died. The water for my life had been denied. I am the water and the rain. I share myself again to let new life begin.
That is so wonderful because, we're all part of everything. You think that, plants and things like that, they're a distance, the birds are different and everything, but actually they're part of our lives that are so important, even though we don't understand it. They're there, and they give us this wonderful feeling of being alive, And I know you bring that out in your poetry all the time.
Well, thank
So
you.
I'm not telling you anything.
Well, I'm glad you understand that and you can express it.
Yes, well, because the fact that we're all one is the most important thing we've got, and yet it's the thing that we don't understand. How could I be part of you? Or you're a different person, you got a different body, but it's beyond the body, it's into the soul. So that's where we're brothers and sisters, I guess.
Well, yes, we are all one in our highest self,
Mm-hmm.
As we branch down into various elements of life, obtain consciousness in various forms, and even rocks have consciousness.
Wow, yes.
And all kinds of things in the universe. Yet all together, it's all just one. We are all one.
I know, isn't
But
that amazing?
it's
That's
just different
amazing.
ways of expressing ourselves and being ourselves.
Yeah, and on top of
learning.
that, we are also in the animals. We're all, even though we don't speak their language and they don't speak ours, we're still part of them. They're part of the whole oneness.
Animals are much more in touch with energy.
Yes.
You know, people they get caught up in the mind. We get programmed from from when we're very young and get all these things. But animals, they're just right there, right now.
Right.
They're there to enjoy the moment.
I think probably that's one of the reasons we love our pets so much, because we know that they understand something that we don't understand.
Yeah.
So it comes out through the love, though, Love joins everything together, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Well, I get a joy out of just talking to people I don't know, and just giving Jesus a chance to give them love, So that's really good. And I have no fear of talking to other people, and they always respond very positively. Nobody else has said, "Why are you talking to me?" So it's always been really good. So I'm going to keep on doing it. And you better keep on writing. I love your writing because it's you. You have a way of putting yourself on paper, which I don't think I could do. But it's wonderful because your soul comes out in your writing. And that's not something with every writer, I don't think.
Probably not.
Yeah. And do you think your Indian background has anything to do with that?
I think it does. I was born, with a father who was 3/4 Native American.
Oh, wow.
And as things went, my mother was very independent, and she wouldn't put up with his patriarchy so much,
Oh.
So she divorced him
Uh-oh.
when I was a child.
Mm.
So I was totally away from that culture, but still, it's in my body, in my DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And it took many years before I even knew what tribe I was in,
No kidding. How did
yeah.
you find out?
My dad sent me my tribal card from the tribe that he enrolled me in.
Oh,
He was enrolled in the Cowlitz Indian tribe from the state of Washington, but he was also enrolled in the Yakima tribe also.
oh, for heaven's sakes.
But he enrolled me in the Cowlitz tribe, and then when I turned 24, he sent me my tribal card, and he said, "Well, I've been paying your annual dues up until now, and now you can pay your own." $10 a year.
Oh, my gosh.
Optional.
Yeah, how can you afford that? So actually, it's not the tribe that you were born in, but you're registered into a tribe, right?
Yeah, I'm registered into the Cowlitz tribe.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
I'm enrolled in their tribe.
And what makes the Kalish different from the other tribes?
Well, we historically lived in different areas.
Oh.
We had distinct cultures, separate from other nations that were in the Washington area, what is now the state of Washington.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
There was Nisqually tribes, Puyallup tribes, of course, like I said, the Yakima, and just a whole lot of tribes, Quileute, and all just different people, and some of them had different languages and different cultures, different practices. But we were a strong tribe. We were called the Blue Bloods of Western Washington.
Oh, my gosh.
Because we were such a strong tribe.
Wow.
At one point, there was reportedly 22,000 people in our tribe.
Oh, I guess that's a big tribe. Oh, you couldn't take too much interest in what the other guys are taking, right? You have to all live your own lives. Even though you're in the same tribe, you own live your own life.
Oh yeah. We're very independent.
Oh yeah.
That's what helped us to live through everything.
That's important. How important that is.
And many of our people were very adept at catching and training horses.
Oh, no kidding. I
Yeah.
love horses so much. They're so wonderful.
And I'm descended from a chief of the tribe. His name was Skaniwa,
Oh.
and he was a hunter. He was a very proficient hunter.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, he was so good at it that he would go and catch game, maybe with a bow and arrow or whatever he used. And the way the process was done in our culture, the game would be brought to his wife to use her teeth to chew on it to get it, get the hide to be proper and everything.
Oh, wow.
And so he was providing too much work for his wife. And so she said, "Get another wife." In our culture, it was allowable for a man to have multiple wives.
That's fantastic.
And so my Skaniwa ended up having 7 wives total.
No kidding.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Well, men complain about how hard it is to get along with one woman. So how do these guys get along with so many? I guess because they're the boss, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, if they have to do what he wants them to do, then that's all right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't beat me money. I wouldn't like it too much, though. I'm already too much the other way.
Yeah, well, my mother was very independent also. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I was raised mostly by my mother.
Oh, marvelous.
And she
So-
moved out, my sisters and I to Fresno in 1957.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow. So how are your sisters getting by?
They're still alive, and as far as I know, they're doing well. One of them actually lives here in Fresno. She's a retired teacher.
Oh, wonderful. So you get to see her occasionally?
Yeah, now and then.
Oh, that's good.
And another one, she became an art teacher.
Wow.
Before that, she was a songwriter, singer, and she formed a band while she was going to the San Francisco Art Institute.
My heavens
And so
sakes.
she had a very popular band in the 1980s called Romeo Void. and they had a signature song that she co-wrote called Never Say Never.
Never. Well, wow, that sounds like the kind of woman I'd really get along with.
Yeah, she's very independent.
Oh, wonderful.
So
That's
she
marvelous.
did very well with the band.
Yeah. Well, I like bands. I like to listen to bands. Every once in a while, they have people like that with their bands come to Fresno, and I love to go and listen to them because it's nothing the same. If it's recorded,
Right.
there's just nothing to it. When you're sitting there listening, the real thing is just going right on through you. So, I really love that.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
I wanted to ask you about romance in your life. Got any romance in your life?
Well, in a sense, but it's not what it could be.
Oh well,
Um,
that's the way life is.
Yeah.
It always seems.
I have a woman friend, but it's too complicated.
Yeah, that can happen. Complications.
Yep.
Yeah, they're hard to get past because, life is hard enough without a lot of complications.
Yep. So all I can do is be friends and give my love and enjoy company, but I cannot rule her. I do not tell her what to do. I let her live her life, and she's got her own choices. She got her own challenges.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's the way it should be. We have to support our loved ones, but we can't really push them around and tell them what they have to do.
Right.
That never works. People have an ability to say, no, don't tell me what to do. Well, I'm glad to hear that, so that's nice. Friends, I think it's wonderful to have friends, but sometimes you just have to be by yourself. So you have to choose. It's nicest to have the friends that understand when you don't always constantly call them, because sometimes you just don't feel like it.
Right. We have to have our own boundaries.
That's right. That's right.
And sometimes we have to do something to make sure people understand and don't push us too much into something we don't want to do.
Yeah, that's really true because I think it's just in our nature that we feel like there's some reason we're here and something we're supposed to be doing, and we've got to got a lot of attention to that, because half the time you don't really know what you're here for. So you just when you get a cue, you say, "Oh boy, that's a good. I'll try that."
Yeah. You know, in this society, we've been trained to use our brains so much. You know, we got the internet, and you know, all the media and politics, and you know, all that education system and everything. And you know, use your brain. You know, learn this, learn that, and everything. But actually, the real strength and the real knowledge is in our hearts.
Oh, you got it right there. You always do, and that's why I love you so much, because you know where the heart is and where the love's from, and that's all we can do, really. Love, like God says, love first your God, then yourself, then your friends, and then everybody. So I have a habit of going up and telling somebody I don't know, "Oh, your hair looks pretty." But I get a kick out of it, you know. What the heck? What's good about it is it just seems that they take on a glow for a second, you know. It's, oh.
Well, everybody we all have our own energy, and if we you know use our hearts and our minds, whatever we have to have good thoughts, then that affects other people and other things, you know.
Yes, that's very, very true. And we don't, half the time we don't think about how much our thoughts and the things we do affects other people. It just never something occurs unless we really start thinking about it. You know, we get somebody light to get us thinking on that line, oh, what I do does have a lot of effect on other people. Yeah. And it doesn't mean just that we're famous or something like that. I mean, talking about everyday people, we all have the same problem there, trying to understand other people and love them, whether we know them or not.
Right.
Yeah, that's it's so wonderful that we have love to share. And I think that's the best thing God gave you, is He gave us He gave us love that we can share.
That's what it's all about. You know, love is eternal.
It is.
Everything else is going to eventually go away, including all this society, you know, all this, you know, darkness, you know, all civilization, all this planet eventually, it'll go away, but love will continue.
That's for Kennedy. That is because it's the one true thing. The one true thing, the truth of life is love. Yeah, and I'm much into it. In fact, I have that for a name too.
Right.
It came in my family. It came down from my grandmother. My name, Love, is Love, and my brother's name is Love. So that gives us going. I said, okay.
You got love wherever you go.
Yeah, we got wherever we go. That's right. It's always with us.
You carry your love everywhere.
That's right. Well, I'm so glad you came in this morning. Did you have anything especially you wanted to read or to talk about this morning that I haven't brought up?
I want to say that we have here in this United States, it is a wonderful country. You know, there's a lot of problems with it, you know, but it was started, I mean, there were, you know, as a Native American, I know what was here before the United States came, but I also know that this country was founded on strong principles, you know, of fairness, of freedom, of religion. You know, we have freedom of choice, you know.
Right.
Freedom, you know, to speak, you know, the First Amendment. And also the Second Amendment to be able to help secure our First Amendment and all the other amendments.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We have a Constitution which, you know, it has done a whole lot of good for the planet. And as long as we try to keep to it and use it and for what it was intended for, we can help make this whole world, the whole planet, a better place, you know.
Oh, I think so. We were given all the ways to do it by these beginning men and women. And they set it up and they said, this is the way. If you stick to this, we've got it made. So that's what we got to do, is stick to it. And I think back, there's love. Love, love will make up for anything else. If you have an argument with somebody, you just say, I love you, and it's over, right? So that's what we got to work in our countries, too, just be able to love each other, even if we don't really understand each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Along with the love, we also need respect,
Oh, yes.
That is very important. No
Yes.
matter anybody, we have to have respect for them. Everybody has their own, view of life. And, they may have differing things, different opinions, different religions.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the stuff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the skin color, all that. It doesn't matter. But we just have to appreciate that people do have differences, respect them, and give them your love.
Oh, I couldn't have said it better myself. You always say it better. Anyway, I just love you having my show so much, and I just hope you keep coming, because I always learn something when you come, and that's important. I think, we got to keep learning. Sometimes you get the feeling, oh, I've got it made, I know, and you don't really.
Well, so many things happen that we're not ready for. But
Well,
sometimes
everybody-
we fall flat on our face.
Right, but everybody we meet has something important for us to learn, so that gives us a lot of learning in the way there, because there's a lot of people we meet, and we got to love them all.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I love you, and I'm so glad you're on my program, and you're going to come back, right?
God willing, as my friend says, and the creek don't rise, but their creek was rising. But yeah, I will sure try to make it.
Oh, I'm really glad to have you so much, and I'm glad that we were able to with you tomorrow, and come back and watch us next time.
Thank you.